social media law unconstitutional. A three-judge panel concluded it was overreach for Governor Ron DeSantis and the Republican-led Florida legislature to tell social media companies how to conduct their work under the Constitution's guarantee of free speech. The ruling upholds a similar decision by a Florida federal district judge on the law. It was part of an overall conservative effort to portray social media companies as generally liberal in outlook and hostile to ideas outside of that viewpoint, especially from the political right. A similar law is in effect in Texas. Tech companies want the Supreme Court to step in there. I'm Ed Donahue.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says he may impose mandatory water restrictions if people don't start using less as the drought drags on. He raised the possibility in a meeting with local water agencies supplying major urban centers in the state. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We are 5 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Tuesday morning under partly sunny skies in Clinton at this time. It's 56 degrees.
Local information that makes a difference. Here's your regional weather.
Partly sunny today, temperatures in the lower to mid-70s, and east wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chances of showers, even storms tonight. Lows around 60 degrees. New rain tonight between around a tenth of an inch. Higher amounts where we see thunderstorms. Showers and storms continuing into Wednesday. Temperatures in the upper 70s. New rain between a quarter and a half an inch. A south-southeast wind at 15 miles an hour. Wind gusts could be as high as 35 miles per hour. Showers and storms overnight Wednesday. Lows in the lower to mid-60s. A south wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Wind gusts of 30 miles per hour. New rain between a tenth and a quarter of an inch. Showers and storms Thursday night. Lows around, Thursday rather. Temperatures in the lower to mid-70s. South-southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. New rain on Thursday between a quarter and a half an inch. A shower and storm lingering into Thursday night. Lows in the mid-50s. Friday, early showers, then partly sunny with a high of 70. Across central Illinois as we continue through this Tuesday morning, right now in Bloomington, temperatures at 57 degrees, 56 in Hayworth, 57 in Leroy, 57 in Farmer City, 58 in Champaign, 60 in Monticello, 59 in Decatur, 57 in Lincoln, 55 in Springfield, and 54 in Peoria. 56, partly cloudy in Clinton. East winds are calm. 73% humidity, 10 miles of visibility on this Tuesday. Weather anytime is at DeWittDailyNews.com.
ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, announced at the end of every Maroon sports broadcast. Our WHOW announcing staff will select that night's WHOW ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, whose play will be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon postgame broadcast, and that player receives a certificate. Remember ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties, the leader in cleaning, restoration, and construction. Find out their services by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
In a dangerous world, who can we trust to keep America safe? Not Mary Miller. Miller voted with Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Ilhan Omar to defund our military. Mary Miller was the only Republican from Illinois to vote against the defense budget. Her liberal vote would have cut off funding for our troops at a time when America's enemies are on the march. So reckless, Mary Miller voted against funding to deploy the National Guard to combat illegal immigration and drug smuggling. Mary Miller stood with the Socialist Squad instead of our brave men and women in uniform. Mary Miller can't be trusted. Conservative Congressman Rodney Davis believes in the Reagan mantra of peace through strength. That's why Rodney voted to strengthen our military and give our troops a pay raise. Rodney Davis is the conservative who will keep America safe.
I'm Rodney Davis. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rodney for Congress.
You and your loved one will love living here at Eagle Ridge Supportive Living in Decatur. Marketing Director Carla Thomas here with some comments from one of our happy residents.
The food is good. The cooks and service people, they try very, very hard to make the food pleasing to the senses.
Eagle Ridge in Decatur is affordable to everyone. Call me, Carla Thomas, for a tour at 217-872-1282. That's 217-872-1282 and start enjoying supportive living.
We're 8 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Tuesday, 56 degrees, partly sunny in Clinton this morning.
From regional radio to WinDailyNews.com and the WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
Thanks for being with us here this morning. News time is 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Graduation was this past weekend, and the last day of school is Thursday for Blue Ridge schools. As the district transitions to summer, there's still a need for summer programming coming out of COVID, says Superintendent Dr. Hillary Stanifer. On the WHOW morning show Monday, Dr. Stanifer told regional radio the COVID dollars they received will help fund this effort.
Our programming will change a little bit from last year. Last year, we had our K-8 students do some summer school, a small number of our students who were maybe needing to do a little bit more work on some of those priority standards. We had them come in, give them about a week off right at the end of the school year, and then in June, we brought them back for half days, Monday through Thursday. We decided this year that both students and staff kind of needed a break after year 2 of COVID, and so we're going to bring those kiddos back at the end of July for 2 weeks, 2 Monday through Thursday sets of mornings, and bring them back and work on those priority standards with them again as a real good springboard for going into full-time in August. We'll also do a new, I guess it's maybe our 3rd or 4th year, doing a kindergarten jumpstart. So our earliest learners who might not be as familiar with the building and routines, they'll get to come in for 2 days that week before school, 2 days for half of the group and the other 2 days for the other half of the group, so they can see where the cafeteria is and where the gym is and all those kinds of things, get some routine started. So that's some of what's going on over the summer. We also have some high school programs, like, for example, our freshman math teacher is going to be offering to work with some kids at the end of July also. Not necessarily a credit recovery, but really kind of an algebraic boost, if you would say, before they come back and start Math 1.
Dr. Stanifer says while some of the summer is focused on curriculum recovery, there is a component that will simply be transitional for students, focusing on things like preparing for an entire day of school and the work that goes into being a student at certain levels.
Yeah, I would say this is more of a qualitative assessment instead of a quantitative. I'm not looking at data in front of me, but I would say that a lot of our learners who had learning habits well established have been able to make up for lost time. They probably lost less than their peers, and they are flying and moving ahead just fine. Then you have some pockets of younger learners, like maybe our 2nd or 3rd grade, some of those really critical years, and you don't have a lot of established. They can't have a lot of time on task because of their young age, and that wasn't established before COVID hit. And so some of those habits, those learning habits, are not all the way established yet. So we're trying to work on those, give them the ability to stay on task a little bit longer. That's something that we're still working on there. And then kids overall, especially some of the younger ones, are having a hard time with being in a regular school environment. I don't know if you've talked with adults or other superintendents who are noticing some of the same things, but when you're learning from home and your routines have been different for so long, it's like not just making up for a summer break where you have to establish routines again, but you're making up for many different kinds of loss of habits and schedules. And so it's very difficult to get that consistency and endurance back. But we're trying. We're doing our best and trying to be mindful of pushing at the right amount, not too little, not too much.
Dr. Stanifer says the benefits of some of the consequences of COVID that are rearing its ugly head is they have a small number of students to focus on, so they can give them all the attention they need to help them adjust and get back on track coming out of COVID. The summer grilling season is upon us, and a local University of Illinois Extension nutrition educator is offering up yearly reminders to keep ourselves, our families, and guests safe from those food-borne pathogens. Caitlin Mellendorf is a nutrition educator at the University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties, and reminds us the challenge can be keeping surfaces and hands clean. This should be the top priority when considering food safety.
Yeah, so anytime that we're going to be cooking outdoors, so whether that's grilling, you're going to be taking foods on a picnic, you're going to go hang out with friends or family on the lake, on the boat, you're going to want to think about, how am I going to keep foods that are more risky? How am I going to keep those foods safe? And the challenge especially is you may not have easy access to a sink. So it may be hard to wash your hands. It may be hard to wash fruits and vegetables before you get in. So you're going to probably have to do a little bit of logistics and planning before you even, get out the door. So if you are doing something outdoors that's close to home, you're going to have easier access to things like that sink. So the 4 big things that we talked about with food safety are going to be hand washing. So for cleaning, so hand washing is that number 1 step for food safety. So especially when you're changing tasks. So if you're preparing your meat for the grill and then you're going to go work on some potato salad and some coleslaw, making sure that between all those tasks, you are washing hands.
The U of I, or rather, Mellendorf says to make sure we're cooking those meats to proper temperatures from those standards set by the USDA. Mellendorf recommends a food thermometer, no matter how high-tech it is.
We're also going to make sure that we are cooking to proper temperatures. So this is where a food thermometer comes in really handy. If you're able, having even some of the fancier thermometers that send messages to your app and you can leave the probes inside the meat. Those are really fun. You don't have to have those for sure, but they are nice if you're wanting to step away a little bit and not have to check on your meat as much. But definitely pulling out that food thermometer. USDA has a whole list of internal cooking temperatures for different varieties of meat. So beef is going to be a little bit different than chicken, for example.
The U of I Extension is working to update its meat safety webpage, but if you're interested in that resource or resources for grilling safety, just do a Google search for U of I Extension Meat Safety or U of I Extension Grilling Safety. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. Local sports is next.
Come to the unveiling of the Prairie Flyers exhibit at the C.H. Moore Museum and Homestead in Clinton on Saturday, May 28th. The exhibit, located at the Carriage Barn, will highlight the stories of aviation in DeWitt County. The museum has asked for artifacts and stories from DeWitt County residents, and they've delivered, with them being unveiled on May 28th. There'll be special activities for kids and adults that day to kick off the exhibit, which will be on display until July 3rd. Join the C.H. Moore Museum and Homestead in Clinton as they celebrate the Prairie Flyers, a century of aviation in DeWitt County, starting Saturday, May 28th.
Life is uncertain. Stop in and see me, State Farm Agent Jason France, on the west side of the Clinton Square, or click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and see how our full lineup of State Farm insurance and financial services can help protect your family.
Local farm broadcaster Jared White covers the local agriculture news you need to know. Hear his reports by downloading the free WHOW mobile app.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the Big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus, streamed on DeWittDailyNews.com, the WHOW mobile app, and Amazon Alexa. Plus, tune in for Best of Clinton Sports broadcast every Saturday morning at 10. All brought to you by Liberty Village, Nan Crane with Remax Choice, the 217 Home Team, Warner Hospital and Health Services, and Covenant Animal Clinic.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. Dawson McGreeny's big day at the plate helped Champaign St. Thomas More overcome a fast start by Mount Pulaski and lead the Sabres to an upset of the top-seeded Hilltoppers 7-5 in Class 1A high school boys baseball regional final action from Mount Pulaski High School Monday afternoon. The regional final was rained out Saturday and moved to Monday. McGreeny reached base 4 times, finishing 3 for 3 with a double, triple, and a walk. He was a home run short of the cycle. McGreeny drove in a run. Wilson Kirby and Drew Staub drove in 2 runs apiece. Ryan Hendrickson drove in another run for STM. Kirby and Andrew Tay finished 2 for 3. Tay doubled for the Sabres. Evan Cooper, Landon Smith, and Chance Payne each had 2 hits apiece for the Hilltoppers. Payne reached base all 4 times at bat for Mount Pulaski, drawing 2 walks. Evan Cooper, Smith, Payne, Lucas Kuhlman, and Gavin Smith had RBIs for Mount Pulaski, who finishes the season 22-6 overall. Gavin Smith and Aylesworth each doubled. The Sabres are 12-11 overall. They advance to host Armstrong Wednesday at 4:30 at Champaign St. Thomas More High School in sectional semifinal action. More Class 1A regional final action from Monday that was rescheduled from Saturday. From Catlin, it was Decatur St. Teresa over Salt Fork 5-2. From Delavan, the hosts beat Hayworth 6-1. And from Roanoke, it was Leroy over Roanoke Benson 3-0. Class 2A regional final action from Monday that was rescheduled from Saturday. From Forsyth, Maroa Forsyth beat Williamsville 6-4. And from Verdon, Shelbyville blanked Auburn 10-0 in 5 innings. Class 3A regional quarterfinal action from Monday. From Bartonville, Limestone throttled Peoria 16-1 in 4 innings. From Centralia, Mattoon blanked the hosts 4-0. From Galesburg, it was Galesburg over Dunlap 7-3. Last night in Springfield, Southeast beat Lanphier 6-5. Class 1A girls high school softball regional final action rescheduled from Saturday. It was Hayworth over Fisher 3-0 from the Milford regional. And from Tuscola, the hosts beat Argenta Oriena 6-5. Paul Goldschmidt hit a walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning Monday night, lifting the St. Louis Cardinals to a 7-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. St. Louis native David Phelps began the 10th, and a wild pitch sent pinch runner Lars Nootbaar, who was on second, as the automatic runner to third. After striking out 2, Phelps walked Tommy Edman. Ryan Barucki, the 6th Toronto pitcher, came in to walk pinch hitter Edmundo Sosa. Goldschmidt, who sat out Saturday, struck out 3 times and hit into a double play in his first 4 at-bats, but sent a 1-2 pitch past the left field fence for his 7th homer. It was his 7th career grand slam, 7th career game-winning homer, and 7th extra inning home run. It extends his hitting streak as well to 15 games. It was the first walk-off grand slam in St. Louis since April 2017, when Matt Carpenter hit one against the same Toronto Blue Jays. Genesis Cabrera was the 5th St. Louis pitcher and pitched the 10th inning to pick up the win as the Cardinals won their 4th straight and improved to 1-1 in extra frames this year. George Springer homered for the Blue Jays, who fell to 1-2 in extra innings. Each team scored twice in the 7th to chase the starting pitchers. Miles Michaelis went 6 2/3 innings before giving way to rookie reliever Andrew Palante, who came into a bases-loaded situation. Michaelis filled the bases on a single and a walk before hitting a batter, but Palante walked Springer, and Santiago Espinal gave Toronto a 3-1 lead before getting out of the jam. Rookie Juan Yepes hit his 4th home run with 1 out in the 7th off Jose Barrios, who then gave up 2 singles. Adam Cinder relieved and allowed a run-scoring single by Harrison Bader before getting a double play. The Blue Jays tied the game at 1 when Springer led off the 6th with a homer to left. The Cardinals struck for a run in the 2nd with a 1-out run-scoring double by Brendan Donovan. Nolan Arenado led off the inning with a single. Santiago Espinal singled in the 1st, giving him a 16-game hitting streak. It is the longest active streak in baseball. Yadier Molina was placed on the bereavement list yesterday. His son injured his arm playing baseball in Puerto Rico and is having surgery this morning. Rookie catcher Ivan Herrera was recalled from AAA Memphis. Herrera is hitting .310 with 2 home runs and 13 RBIs in 20 games at Memphis this season. Right-hander Angel Rondon was optioned to Memphis. Junior Fernandez was promoted Monday from Memphis to help in the bullpen. Matthew Libator was recalled from Memphis, as was Nootbaar. Steven Matz went on the 15-day injured list. He was removed from Sunday start after throwing just 4 pitches. Dylan Carlson went on the 10-day injured list, retroactive to May 22nd. He left Saturday's game after 2 innings in the field. Kevin Gossman faced St. Louis once last year when he was with San Francisco in 7 career appearances, including 3 starts against St. Louis. Gossman went 0-3 with a .397 ERA. Jordan Hicks makes his first career appearance and start against the Blue Jays. It will be his first career start against an interleague opponent and his first career appearance against an AL East opponent. Ian Happ hit a 3-run homer and an RBI double to his impressive body of work at Great American Ballpark, powering the Cubs to a 7-4 win over the Reds on Monday night. There's something about Cincinnati for Happ. The Cubs left fielder played college ball at the University of Cincinnati, a few miles away from Great American Ballpark, and for reasons not entirely known to him, he really likes to hit there. The Pittsburgh native now has 14 homers among 24 extra base hits and 29 RBIs in 35 games at Great American. He's hitting .383 in his last 15 games and pushed his season average to .286. He drove in Saya Suzuki with a fourth-inning double before Patrick Wisdom hit a 3-run home run, his team-leading 10th of the season. Then, with Chicago holding a 4-3 lead and 2 outs in the 7th, Happ drove the first pitch he saw from reliever Luis Sessa into the right field bleachers. Aristides Aquino had 2 home runs for the Reds. Drew Smiley went 5 2/3 innings, allowing 3 runs and 4 hits, striking out 5. He seemed to be on the way to one of his best outings of the season, retiring 13 at one point, but got in trouble in the 6th when Tommy Pham hit a solo homer and Aquino launched a 2-run homer to center field. Aquino, who had spent time the last few weeks in the minors because of a lack of production, hit another long drive in the 8th, hitting Chris Martin's slider 429 feet off the facing of the second deck in left field. Aquino, who has struggled in recent years before a big rookie season, began the game with just 1 home run and 45 at-bats for the Reds. In 2022, David Robertson closed it out for his 6th save. Reds starter Vladimir Gutierrez continued his struggles. He lasted 4 innings, allowing 4 runs, 4 hits, and struck out 5. He pitched for the first time since May 11th as the Reds pondered moving him to the bullpen. Happ might have had another home run if not for Red center fielder Nick Senzel, who was back in the lineup for the first time after missing 17 games with COVID. Senzel made a leaping catch at the center field wall to rob Happ of a home run in the 2nd. The next batter, Jan Gomes, hit a liner that Senzel ran down in the left center field gap, making the stab over his head. The Cubs send Marcus Stroman to the mound opposite Tyler Mahle tonight. Nazem Kadri scored 3 goals, including 2 during a 4-goal second period barrage as the Avalanche beat the Blues 6-3 and took a 3-1 commanding lead in the Western Conference NHL playoff series. Kadri's outburst came after he received racist death threats on social media following a first-period collision with Blues goalie Jordan Binnington in Game 3 on Saturday. Kadri, who was booed heavily every time he touched the puck, skated towards the glass and appeared to salute the Blues fans after each of his first 2 goals, inciting even more jeers. It was his first career playoff hat trick. Eric Johnson and Devin Taves scored. Mikko Rantanen had an empty netter for the Avalanche. Darcy Kemper made 17 saves. David Perrin scored twice, and Pavel Buchnevich had a goal and an assist for the Blues. Ville Husso, making his first start since Game 3 of the first round against Minnesota, had 31 saves. The Avalanche took control of the game and series with 3 goals in less than a 2-minute span. Early in the second period, Perrin and Buchnevich each scored power play goals late in the second to bring the Blues within 1 midway through the third, scuttling a comeback attempt. Game 5 is Wednesday in Colorado. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Just how low will a politician go to get elected? Ask Darren Bailey. Bailey's letting J.B. Pritzker finance his campaign. Over $5 million from the Democrats meddling in our primary, trying to buy the Republican nomination for Bailey. Pritzker finally admitted it.
There's a new ad from the Democratic Governors Association to help Bailey in the primary. You're behind this ad.
Yeah, I support that ad. It elevates attention to all of the good. I'm simply trying to tell everybody who Darren Bailey is.
And Bailey's downright giddy about it.
You're glad to see those ads from the Democratic Governors Association?
Oh, yeah, I do. And that's beautiful.
So craven, Darren Bailey sold out at the drop of a dime for Democrat money. Easy to buy, easy to beat. Pritzker knows Bailey's too weak to win in November, and he shouldn't. because he's just like Pritzker. Darren Bailey raised our property taxes 13 times, 81% higher. Pritzker's favorite tax-raising Republican. We can never trust him again. Paid for by Urban for Illinois.
Noah Atkinson here, owner of Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs in Lincoln. Proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month.
Jerry Toohill has been your local Stone Seed dealer in Clinton for many years. Jerry's part of the Stone Seed team that live and work in Illinois just like you. Jerry has called Clinton home for a long time, and Jerry, along with his Stone Seed team, make sure area farmers have seed solutions for their fields. They'll receive a $200 gift certificate good at Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs for being our WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month. Nominate a business you'd like featured by emailing us at WHOW@randyradio.com.
Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs reminds you that if you're in need of anything printed from envelopes and wedding invitations to signs, banners, and even vinyl wraps, think of us. Find us online at lincolnprintersinc.com.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Biden has put the wraps on his two-country Asia trip by delivering an uncompromising message on Ukraine. Mr. Biden condemning Russia's 3-month-old war in Ukraine. The president now heading back home following his 6-day trip to Asia. With gas prices continuing to shatter records, President Biden suggests it's something we'll have to endure in order to become less dependent on fossil fuels. Raging inflation, not only a problem on this side of the Atlantic, people in Britain feeling it as well. The president suggests that he may reduce U.S. tariffs on some Chinese imports. Mr. Biden confirms that he plans to discuss the tariffs imposed on China by former President Trump with Treasury Secretary Yellen once he returns to Washington. Stocks opening lower this morning. More details at srnnews.com.
Our special 2022 planning reports on WHOW are powered by the 2022 Chevy Silverado, sponsored by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton. Also brought to you by Peterson Insurance Services in Clinton, Mancy Metal in Mount Zion, Jerry Toohill and your Central Illinois Stone Seed dealers, Maroa Ag, Enel Green Energy, AAK Mechanical in Clinton, Wiffles Hybrids, and Heartland Bank and Trust.
Back in grade school, we were always taught to avoid run-on sentences. That's not a problem at Wiffles Hybrids, since we're only focused on one thing, our high-yielding corn hybrids. Oh, and handling our own seed production. Oh, and staying independent in U.S. farm. Well, shoot. Turns out it's easier said than done. Wiffles Hybrids, one thing done right, and lots of little things done right, too.
Contact Mike Earls, your district sales manager in DeWitt and Macon counties.
You've been planning to build a pole barn or install a new metal roof, but you want to make sure they're built to last. Mancy Metal is a local company that manufactures quality metal roofing and post-frame buildings right here in central Illinois. This means you'll have everything you or your contractor needs to install that metal roof or put up a building designed to last generations. Stop by our Mount Zion factory or visit us today at mancymetal.com. MANSEA metal.com.
Your local Pekin Insurance Agency, the Peterson Insurance Agency in Clinton, works to find the right auto, home, business, and life insurance for you. Contact them today to set up protection plans for your present and future. Learn more about their coverages at PekinInsurance.com or ask your agent for more details. Pekin Insurance is rated superior for personal lines claim service by Ward Group.
This is Jay Peterson, your hometown Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. For a virtual or in-person appointment, call today at 935-6605. That's 935-6605.
Those shoes may be in your size, but do they fit in this month's budget? With Heartland Bank's digital banking service, you can track your spending and check balances anytime, anywhere. Make digital payments at stores with easy access to your accounts on the go. Find out how Heartland Bank's digital banking service can help you so you'll be sure before you spend. Visit hbtbank.com for more information. Member FDIC.
I'm local farm broadcaster Jared White. In this special 2022 planning report, we're on the farm visiting with Moultrie County farmer Lucas Roney. Lucas, we've caught up with you here on the back porch on a rainy May the 18th, but you got a smile on your face, so you must be liking the rain that you're seeing fall here across central Illinois today.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about the rain that we're getting. We've been in a little bit of a dry spell. It's been nice to get a lot of the planting almost wrapped up, but we've got enough in the ground now to where I'm ready to see it rain, half an inch or an inch to get everything off to a good start and get our chemicals activated that we have on our crops to keep the weeds down. And it's the way the radar looks, doesn't look like it's going to be a lot of rain, but we'll take everything we can get at this point.
Sure, yeah. Speaking like a guy that's got several, let's try that again. Spoken like a guy that's got a lot of seed in the ground and plants coming up. And how has the planning progress gone for you on the operation? We talked about a month ago, and there hadn't been a lot done at that time.
Yeah, we really kicked it into high gear last week. We had just really good soil conditions and the good warm weather. The stuff that we planted last Tuesday, I think, was when we got back in the field. It's been up and out of the ground for a couple of days now. It took less than a week to get out of the ground with the warm temperatures and had plenty of moisture. So we're down to our last 30 acres of corn. We're done planting beans, and it feels really good, especially looking at some of the other areas that I have to drive by going between home and the farm. There's still a lot of fields that are unplanted. So I feel for the guys that don't, but I'm glad that I do.
Well, sure. Yeah. When you look at the progress and how much you're able to get done, you guys definitely put the hammer down, it sounds.
Yeah. We actually got started planting beans a little bit early. We started planting beans back in April. We planted a couple of fields of corn while it was still a little bit cool and a little bit on the wetter side. But those fields that we planted then, they're already out of the ground and looking good. But yeah, we just kind of plugged along a little bit at a time on the beans, and we made really good progress. So we did have some late nights, but that was that's kind of, we're in the middle of May, and we just want to try to get everything in the ground as quick as we can now.
Go time, right?
Yeah. Yep. We're to that point. You get much further past this, and the agronomists are always telling us anything past May 15th, you're starting to lose yield on corn and beans. So we're kind of right at that point, and the more we get in now, the better off we're going to be, I think.
Many thanks to Moultrie County farmer Lucas Roney for joining us on the special 2022 planning report. I'm local farm broadcaster Jared White reporting.
Just in time for planting season, AAK Mechanical, your on-the-farm mobile welding specialist in Clinton, now offers Mobile Welding Plus. Not only does AAK tech Zach Mills bring his 15 years of experience to fix what needs welded on your equipment in the field, but the plus means his truck is equipped with a crane extending 25 feet, lifting up to 6,000 pounds, and an air compressor, all making it easier and faster to repair your equipment this planting season. Put this number in your smartphone, 935-8501, 935-8501, for Mobile Welding Plus from AAK Mechanical in Clinton.
At Stone Seed, we combine innovative technologies and products with hands-on service and commitment to bring you value beyond business, because we know there's no such thing as one-size-fits-all solutions in farming. Field by field, acre by acre, we work with you to provide customized local solutions. We live here, we farm here, we know Illinois. Contact me, Jerry Toohill, at 217-972-0921 to learn more. That's 217-972-0921.
Whether it's planting, growing, or harvest season, MROAG is your partner every step of the way. Assistant Manager Jason Hunt here with some important reminders. MROAG is your crop protection partner during the growing season. From late season seed to nitrogen and side dress 28, as well as fungicide, herbicide, pesticide, and micronutrients your plants need to maximize yield. MROAG can take care of your crops all season long, and it's important to have us get your residual chemicals down before putting those beans in the ground to prevent weeds and pests from becoming a problem and cutting your yield. Let MROAG be your growing partner every step of the way.
The 2022